I got hit up by this dude who lives here who was talking to me a bit about what's going on here in France. And I thought it would be significantly, well, look, I've got to talk to some locals about what's going on. I'm not going to go and circle jerk with some buddies. This is a local guy. He's going to tell me what his stance is. Keep in mind, he's just a local French person, so we'll get kind of an on-the-ground perspective of what he thinks. It's not going to be representative of everybody, but we'll find out who he is and what he thinks and what might happen. After this, there's going to be a protest, but we'll see if we can get it. He's actually right here, so let's actually catch up with him. How's it going, man?
Yeah,
hey,
I'm sorry for everything.
Hey, no problem, man. I can't. I was gonna talk to him. I was gonna talk to you over at the restaurant, but there's music playing, so I can't.
Oh,
because then YouTube will shut my video down.
Just because you're taking
because there's music in the background. But actually, yeah, we'll chill right here,
okay.
And then here's what we'll do. Let's talk for a little bit, and so you can explain to me exactly what's going on with the election.
Okay. We can do that. Do you have a specific question? Or,
Actually, yeah. So you look like a Le Pen supporter. Are you a Le Pen supporter?
Yeah.
Is that a KEK button on your?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so tell me. We'll just do a few minutes here, but just I don't know, introduce yourself, and then let's talk about the election, and you can give me a little explanation about what's going on.
Okay, I can do that. So basically, what's going on at the moment, it's we have basically a social issue between the left and the right because the main problem is like for maybe 20 years or maybe even 40 years, the left government have tried to push the fact that Le Pen was basically Hitler at this point.
They're trying to say she's a Hitler.
Yeah, she's basically like the worst thing possible in France. Like basically she wants to remove every single immigrant, even if they're French or not. They want like any single thing you can imagine. They have said it about Le Pen. It's a little bit like what happened in the USA with Trump when every single day you got on CNN article saying that Trump is the devil, Trump's eating his meat, maybe too overcooked, so that meat is like Satan.
So there was an article where it said Trump cooks his meat well done with ketchup.
Exactly. So
as if that disqualifies you as a politician. I mean, I don't want to defend Trump on his policy issues, but attacking him for what he eats was absurd.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, and that's actually what's happening in France. I think the main reason is because basically the same media is controlled by the left side.
I should say this, you've got the KEK button and like a Pepe octopus, right?
Yeah.
So would you consider yourself right-wing?
Yeah, I'm considering myself right-wing.
From the way you see it, the way you see the media, it's controlled by the left. Like the ideas they push are liberal.
Yeah, you don't have any...
Because the liberals don't feel that way.
Yeah, because they have the chance to have like their agenda push, so like you open the newspaper, you open the TV network, or you look at the TV, you always see basically what you want to hurt, like Le Pen is the evil, everything is fine, immigration is fine, we should open the border for everybody, Europe is fine, like basically everything is fine. So
let me ask you, tomorrow is the election, right?
Yeah, it's the 7th, yeah.
Who's gonna win?
I think sadly it's gonna be Macron.
Even you think so?
Yeah, I think so, because the main issue is basically the third candidate was Jean-Luc Mélenchon. He's basically a communist guy, and he got like close to 20% of the electoral votes. But he's basically anti-right wings, and he's at the same time anti-capitalism because he's communist. So that makes sense. And what he said is basically, people will vote for me. I don't want any of you to vote for anybody. But by the second issue is even if most of these people will not vote at all, some of them still gonna vote not for Le Pen but against her. So they will vote for anybody, like even someone who is not French, don't speak French, is like disabled or anything.
You're saying they would rather have anyone other than Le Pen?
Even you. Like you come and they will vote for you. Yeah. Instead of Le Pen because.
So the way I see it, I guess, is people say that Macron is centrist, right?
Yeah, he's
that's like what the media says. They say he's like more center.
Yeah.
They say that Le Pen is far right.
Yeah, but it's not really the case. I mean, because in France you have a strong socialist government, like basically everything with not a socialist government is like far right for them. Even if you're looking at as example when Sarkozy was in position of power in France, he was basically he was using the same political agenda that Jean-Marie Le Pen, the father of Marine Le Pen, like 20 years ago. Like he was
Yeah.
using the same one basically, but at this time no one said, oh,
But they
he's
say her-
far right, he's just right wing, you know.
Well, they say that Marine Le Pen's dad was very racist, was like,
Yeah,
like a convicted racist.
Yeah, he got convicted multiple times, but I mean, it's a democracy. I mean, you have the right basically to say what you want, and everybody should have the possibility to express his opinions. That doesn't mean he can't have the right idea on certain points, you know. You should have the liberty of expression, but it's not the case in France because you have the chance as an American to have this liberty. You can say whatever you want, even your president can say basically whatever you want, and you have no consequences. If I'm starting to criticize a certain point in France, I can be arrested, I can be fined, I can be put in jail, I can have my entire life destroyed.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and
So, well, let's talk a little bit about. Well, so you said you think Macron will win.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, do you think people will have a negative reaction to that?
Yeah. I think like we have the 6 right now, and I think the 7 tomorrow. It's gonna be a chaos in the street. It's absolutely
Like crazy riots everywhere?
Yeah. Maybe
So I was told the other day that people don't like Macron
yeah, they don't like him
because
at
he's
all.
an establishment
yeah,
like
he's like
banker.
working for the Rothschild basically at this point. Yeah.
And Le Pen is considered a fascist.
Yeah.
So I'm told no matter what happens,
It's gonna be
the
chaos.
riots are going to be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Even like for the last election, like basically in France, we have a strong mentality of revolting. We revolt about everything. Like I don't know for how long you have been in Paris.
I've been on and off here for actually like I spent a week here a couple months ago, then another week here.
So I don't know if you
Not a whole long.
Yeah, but like you have protests basically every single day for everything.
Okay, so I was just telling a story. I was at Republic.
Yeah.
There was a protest.
Yeah, even right now
And-
you have a protest.
Yeah. Actually, we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there in a little bit. But here's what happened: a bunch of people in black bloc, the mask, were throwing
Yeah.
bricks at a bus. The police fired tear gas.
Mhm.
All of the regular, the average citizens not protesting, just walked like nothing
Yeah,
was happening.
yeah.
I saw an old man walking his bike right through the tear gas at a steady pace.
With the bricks flying.
Yep. Didn't even care.
Yeah.
And I saw that. I actually laughed, and my friend was like, "It's just normal here."
Yeah,
like
it's-
even the old guy's like, tear gas.
Yeah, because like in France we have this mentality of we protest for everything, but at the same time that doesn't change anything. I'm gonna give you an example. Basically, when Europe, the European nation was created, Nicolas Sarkozy was the president of France, and what he said is we're gonna have a referendum to ask the citizens of France if they want to be part of Europe or no. Basically, the citizens of France said no, we don't want to join it. We have a vote, and the referendum said no to like more than 50%. So technically, we should not be part of the European nation. But Sarkozy did. Yeah, it's fine. So I'm gonna ask them to make a specific European contract just for us. It's called the Lisbon Treaty, and it's basically a simplified version of the European Treaty. And he said, oh, I don't have to ask you basically your authorization. I just join them and that's all. And even if people are protesting, what the fuck? I mean, we have votes, we said no, and we still part of it. People protest, they break everything, they burn banks and anything basically at this point,
So-
and nothing happened.
So, right. So we know there's going to be riots.
Yeah,
It's
that's
going to be
true.
crazy.
Yeah.
What happens a day later? Does it just go back to normal?
You're probably gonna have the part of the media that depend how big the riot gonna be. Like if the car gonna be burned everywhere, it's a shop gonna be destroyed and everything. But the media probably gonna say, yeah, it's a victory for democracy.
Yeah.
It's amazing because now we are part of the European nation even more, like pushing the European agenda, because basically that's what Macron's doing. He's pushing the
EU.
The EU more than anything.
What happens if Le Pen wins?
If Le Pen wins,
Will France burn to the ground?
No, I don't think so. Honestly, I think even if Le Pen wins, you're gonna still have riot, because why not? People are gonna protest. But
I think they'll riot more. A lot of people will riot.
it's possible, but at the same time, the issue is most of the policemen and the law enforcement and the military, like basically any kind of authority and people with position of power in the law enforcement, most of them gonna vote for Le Pen because she's a populist. You know,
It's much like Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So even if like shit going crazy, these cops, they're gonna, because they vote for her, they're gonna support the idea. You know, it's their personal cause. It's not the same thing as defending a random person you don't really like. You will maybe not risk your life. you know, you don't have any personal engagement in the cause. So I think even if she win, that's gonna be real, but that's gonna be different. Like it can change a lot of things. I honestly think. I hope she win, but like I said,
yeah, you look like. I mean, I saw the buttons, and I'm like, clearly you're a supporter.
Yeah.
So I mean, I view you as kind of just an average French person, right?
Yeah,
you hit me up, and
I was
like,
average,
I was like, you know, it'd be good to get kind of the general opinion of someone who lives here. And here's what I'll say this. I typically don't like to go interview experts, politicians all the time, because you're going to get some kind of expert elitist narrative.
Yeah.
And so I feel like for something like understanding what's happening here in France, you were particularly good because you're a guy who lives in France.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a French
and so at least as much as I can produce, you know, ideally I'd like to get some Macron supporters and some like anarchists, but for what I can shoot right now, you seem like a good guy who has like an idea of, as just like a French person, you support Le Pen. So I guess I got one more question. Do you have any final thoughts, anything that you want to say about what's happening here in France or what people should know?
What's happening right now, it's basically when Macron's gonna be elected, because sadly I think that what's gonna happen, we have to read more, we have to get informed outside of the media outlets, because basically that's what they're pushing in France, a little bit like the USA with the CNN and all the mainstream media, basically pushing their agenda and making believe to the general population, people not really interested, but because maybe they don't have time, they work a lot. It's complicated to follow that thing, you know.
You think it's that there's a lot of people who don't have the time to be informed about what's happening?
Yeah, that's why, I mean, that's the purpose of television and newspaper. I mean, like, I remember 20 years ago, I'm 27, that's why, like, I remember maybe 10 years old, when I was a little kid, I remember my dad opening the newspaper, and you have real article, you know, with, you have to check the facts, you have to check everything. Right now, you can say, I'm a journalist, I can write whenever I want, even if it's not true. My boss, he will not fire me. He will say,
there's a lot of bad news out there right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm reading a lot of the American politics, because I like politics in general all around the world, and it's happening all the time. Like, I can really and clearly see like a change in the last 10 years. Like, anything, you can know, basically say anything, invent story, make up anything, and you don't have any kind of consequence. They don't even apologize, because.
So wait. Do you think the bigger problem then is with the media and people being misinformed?
Yeah, definitely it's a bigger part, because people who are gonna vote, like, you're random people. You open the TV, you see people say, yeah, Le Pen is Hitler. If you vote for her, she's gonna basically kill everyone and deport all the immigrants and basically create like apocalypse in France, even if it's not the case, you know. But they're pushing
apocalypse in France.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically that. At this point, that's why. So.
All right, man. So we're gonna go down to this protest. There's a protest not too far away, and I needed to put together a quick video for you that kind of gives you a better view, not from me or my friends, but somebody who actually lives here. So stay tuned. Make sure to, if you like the video, click the like button, comment below, let me know what you think. Subscribe for new videos every day, 6 p.m. Eastern. By the time this video comes out, I might be live streaming a protest, so stay tuned, because around 8 p.m., which is not too long from where I'm shooting right now, in France, there's going to be a big protest. And then, as he just told us, there's going to be a bunch of riots tomorrow. So thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned. I will see you tomorrow, or maybe even breaking news before then. I'll be on Twitter @TimCast. Adios.